We still sing those songs we learned down there. But this year I found something really special. Look at this brochure, Peg. Now, this place has everything Hawaii has. It's got sunshine, a palm tree, quicksand. But the best part is, it's in the United States.
When Married with Children started on TV in 1987, not many people thought it would last. Critics were harsh, but viewers loved it. Each week, the Bundy family turned their problems into hilarious moments, and soon everyone was talking about the show. The cast had great chemistry that you could feel on screen, but the real surprises came from behind the scenes. There were crazy hair mishaps, audition struggles, jokes that almost got cut, and mistakes that turned into funny scenes. Bloopers are also hidden among the laughter, which is one big secret Ed O'Neill has kept until now. He finally reveals what many fans overlooked. Let's look back at the show, the kisses, the chaos, and all those untold stories. The series that broke the mold. Married with Children started on April 5th, 1987, and ended on June 9th, 1997. Michael G. Mayer and Ron Levitt created the show for Fox, a new network. This was Fox's first primetime sitcom, and it became the longest-running live-action sitcom on the network, lasting 11 seasons and producing 259 episodes. The final episode aired on May 5th, 1997, but 2 extra episodes that did not air then were released later, one on June 9th and another in 2002. Set in Chicago, it focused on a chaotic family that turned their struggles into jokes while breaking social norms. This was not a typical, heartwarming family show. That was the point. At first, they thought of naming it Not the Cosbys to contrast with cleaner family shows. Fox gave the creators the freedom to create what they wanted. Not everyone in the company supported it. CEO Barry Diller had doubts. Critics were divided during its run. The humor was bold, direct, and unapologetic. The Bundy family was a mess, but that's why viewers kept tuning in. It captured the funny side of real-life chaos. The theme song, Love and Marriage, written by Sammy Cahn and Jimmy Van Heusen and sung by Frank Sinatra, added warm and nostalgic feelings that clashed with the Bundys' constant bickering. This contrast hooked viewers right from the start. The more you watched, the more you noticed the details that kept the show interesting. This leads us to the talented people who brought this unique show to life. Inside the Bundy house, Ed O'Neill played Al Bundy, a grumpy character stuck selling women's shoes. He often talked about his high school glory days when he scored 4 touchdowns in one game at Polk High. Those moments were the highlight of his life, as nothing compared to that. He hated his job and the bills that piled up, but he had his comforts, watching reruns of Psycho Dad, collecting adult magazines, and caring for his beat-up '72 Dodge Dart with over 1 million miles on it. Al complained about everything, but he would stand up for his family when it mattered. Katie Seagal portrayed Peggy Bundy, the lazy redhead who refused to cook, clean, or work. She enjoyed daytime TV and shopping with Al's money. She often mocked his job, paycheck, and bedroom skills, dragging the whole family into financial trouble. Her friend Marcy joined in, making Al's life even harder. And Peggy's relatives? They were a total mess, especially her mother, whom Al couldn't even stand to look at. Christina Applegate played Kelly Bundy, the attractive but clueless daughter who often forgot her name. She pursued boys, which drove Al crazy and increased family tensions. David Faustino was Bud, the more brilliant but still struggling brother, who always tried but mostly failed at impressing girls. Kelly and Bud exchanged playful insults but supported each other in tough times. This family loyalty made the Bundys feel relatable, messy, and funny, and you never knew if the next moment would be comical or heartfelt. The Bundys weren't alone. Their neighbors added to the chaos. Amanda Bearse's Marcy Rhodes, later Marcy Darcy, was Al's constant opponent. She worked in finance, was a strong feminist, and even started a group called Feminists Against Neanderthal Guys. Al responded with his own group, No Ma'am, which stood for the National Organization of Men Against Amazonian Masterhood. Their arguments were sharp and entertaining. Marcy's first husband, Steve Rhodes, played by David Garrison, was a strict banker obsessed with his Mercedes. He quickly became unhappy in the marriage and left to work as a park ranger in Yosemite. He returns in one episode to reclaim his place, but Jefferson gets in the way. Steve later showed up again as Bud's college dean. Ted McGinley played Jefferson Darcy, Marcy's next husband. He was charming but had no job or money. He often avoided conflicts by using his charm with Marcy. The show hinted he might have a mysterious background, but nothing was confirmed. Unlike the serious Steve, Jefferson was laid back and became one of Al's best drinking buddies. The conflicts between neighbors turned each episode into a lively debate. Al and Marcy argued about money, rights, and pride, while Kelly and Bud made clever comments from the sidelines. Peggy and Marcy often laughed and stirred up more drama. The characters lit the fire, but the show's lively filming increased the excitement. The behind-the-scenes fans missed. Seasons 1 and 2 were filmed live in front of a studio audience at ABC's location in Los Feliz. The laughter helped shape the show's rhythm. From seasons 3 to 8, production moved to Sunset Gower in Hollywood, and from seasons 9 to 11, it took place at Sony Pictures in Culver City. These changes didn't slow down the show, but helped it grow and improve. The production team also changed. It started with Embassy Communications, and then ALLP/Columbia Pictures took over in the middle of season 2. The crew worked smoothly, creating Bundy chaos for a full decade. The catchy Love and Marriage theme song set a warm tone, but the Bundys quickly turned it into a sarcastic joke. While some critics were divided, saying it was too vulgar or harsh, viewers stuck with it. The show expressed thoughts and feelings that many people had, but were afraid to say. By 2008, the show made Entertainment Weekly's list of the top 100 TV classics, landing at number 94. The Bundys remained memorable, and in May 2022, news of an animated reboot came. The show started as a cheeky response to The Cosby Show, challenging expectations and helping launch Fox's primetime lineup. However, when it first aired in 1987, critics did not welcome it warmly. Season 1 got a 58 on Metacritic, which is a mediocre score. The pilot received mixed reviews. Howard Rosenberg in the LA Times liked the family dynamics, but felt that some characters were underdeveloped and that the satire was too obvious. On the other hand, Tom Shales from the Washington Post criticized the show, calling it nasty and miscast. John J. O'Connor from the New York Times agreed, saying it was loud and crude, comparing it to older shows but claiming it didn't measure up and was just cheap humor. Early reactions labeled the show rough, offensive, and seeking cheap thrills. Critics complained, while many viewers started to see the cleverness in its messiness. That divide between critics and audiences was clear from the start. And if they thought the on-screen content was pushing boundaries, the off-screen stories were even crazier. The Wild Antics of Sam Kinison. In The Wild Antics of Sam Kinison, Richard Germain recounts humorous stories from Married with Children, particularly focusing on guest star Sam Kinison's unpredictable behavior. On his first day, Kinison shocked the cast by mooning everyone, and the following day he arrived late with strippers, turning lunch into a chaotic scene. This created tension with director Jerry Cohen, especially when Kinison brandished a gun. Despite the uproar, the crew managed the situation well. There were initial plans to cast Kinison as Al Bundy and Roseanne Barr as Peggy, but creator Michael Moy was relieved they avoided those high-profile choices. The show immediately faced controversy, particularly because of its edgy humor. Terry Raccolta led protests after a vibrator scene aired, which ironically attracted more viewers and boosted the show's fame. Stars Ed O'Neill and Christina Applegate had mixed feelings about the script. Ed was interested, while Christina initially turned off and later embraced it. Behind the scenes, though, challenges persisted. Ed admitted to a long-standing riff with Amanda Bearse, and on a podcast, Katie Segal noted how the cast often felt like a snarky, jaded group. Christina faced harsh criticism, leading to a severe eating disorder fueled by pressure regarding her appearance. Interestingly, she helped shape her character Kelly, making her more edgy and memorable. Although fame brought fortune, it also came with lasting emotional struggles for the cast. Ed O'Neill on Fame Without Respect. Ed feels connected to Al Bundy, the grumpy salesman who made us laugh for 11 years. However, Ed thinks people don't see themselves in him. On Dinner's on Me, he explained, "In a show like that, nobody admits they love it. After 260 episodes, you hear it all. Reminds me of my brother, uncle, dad, friend. No one says that's me." He laughed. Al's lazy, blunt style, funny from a distance, but owning it? No way. This allowed us to watch without feeling uncomfortable, which set the show apart from the lighter shows of that time. Ed embraced this difference. It was a huge hit, but my peers, they looked down on it. The show didn't win awards, and critics called it trashy. It was loved by many, but ignored by the industry. This was the odd reality for Ed. Fans loved it, but the industry did not recognize it. The experience created memorable characters and brought pain and hidden struggles for those involved. Ed found out that Married with Children was canceled, surprisingly through a couple celebrating their wedding at a B&B in Ohio. After congratulating them, the groom told Ed, "You're canceled." Even though it shocked him, Ed stayed cool and enjoyed some champagne with them. The show ended after 11 seasons of humor from Al, Peg, Kelly, and Bud. The cast learned about the cancellation through rumors. Christina heard it through friends and felt hurt that they got no official word. Ed joked that they didn't receive any farewell gifts, unlike the Golden Girls, which emphasized the disappointment after years of hard work. Though the initial shock wore off, fans still approach Ed with fond memories. He and Christina talk about their show as a classic, but it ended unexpectedly. What do you think about this? Please share in the comments and let us know if you enjoyed this overview.